We're good on one here, Mike? Okay, great. We do have our guest, next guest. Last week on the show, we actually spoke to somebody who's an employee of Divonia's restaurant. For people who don't know, that's a very esteemed restaurant over in Wealthbridge, outside of Newbridge. It's actually a Michelin-rated restaurant. And its owner and head chef is Antonio Divonia, and he's one of the most acclaimed and respected chefs in America today. And if you watch the show Kitchen Nightmares, which is the Gordon Ramsay show, you're aware that his son, Antonio's son, Jake Divonia, was on an episode. His restaurant, Divonia's 2, was profiled. I guess it was probably about a year ago at this point, and it was a really crazy... It's a legendary episode of the show, and it's one of the funniest and weirdest episodes of that show. Even weirdest and funniest of anything I've seen on TV, probably ever in my life. And the other day, the kid from the episode, Jake, his son, Jake Divonia, actually contacted me and asked if he could call in to make an announcement. So, let me see if this... do we have Jake Divonia on the line?
Hey, Tom, it's Jake.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Uh-huh. Now, Jake, I just kind of gave a little announcement of who you were.
Okay.
And, for people who don't know, though, the whole story, can you maybe get listeners kind of up to speed on your whole background and everything?
Ooh, okay, sure. Well, my father, Antonio, he moved to Newbridge at the very young age of 12. He was straight off the boat from Naples,
mm-hmm.
and started out like many great chefs. He just started as a dishwasher at the very bottom.
Mm-hmm.
In various restaurants around town, like the Trolley Stop, Dr. Barnacle's, the Niblick and its pub. And then he worked his way up to food prep, and then eventually became the sous chef, and then the head chef at the very prestigious Dorfman's on 254th Street, which, of course, is still around.
Mm-hmm.
In 1985, he left Dorfman's, and he ended up starting his own restaurant, Divonia's.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no secret, it was not a hit in Newbridge.
Really?
Yes, this was he really struggled, 85, 86, 87. Newbridge at that time was even more of a cultural wasteland than it is today, if you can believe that.
Well, that's okay.
Well, I don't think that's debatable, really. But the story of Cortez, and he and his ships are arriving in South America for the first time, and the tribe of indigenous people, they're on the beach, and these tall ships are off in the distance. But those ships are so far out of the consciousness and the reality of those people that they literally could not see those ships because they had no reference point.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was for my dad cooking in Newbridge.
What?
Yeah, his dishes were so advanced that the rubes in Newbridge, that they couldn't actually taste them.
They couldn't actually taste them?
Yeah, they complained that the food tasted clear.
Okay, I never heard that.
Yeah. So my dad sunk all of his money into moving the restaurant 30 miles west to Wealthbridge,
mm-hmm.
a very, very Tony neighborhood. And the food was an instant hit.
So it clicked with the people in Wealthbridge.
It was an instant hit, and it became the institution that it is today. And literally anyone has eaten at Divonia since it opened in 89.
Really?
Yeah.
Like who?
Oof. Let me think. Linda Lavin, Tommy Lasorda, Gene Simmons. You know who that is?
Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Yeah. Taylor Hicks.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mickey Rooney, Ron Jeremy, Monica Lewinsky, Stan Laurel Jr., Oliver Hardy III,
Okay.
Dr. Phil Towle. Do you know who he is?
Doctor who? What's that name?
Phil Towle.
Dr. Phil Towle. No, I don't.
He was the kind of self-help guru in the Metallica film, some kind of mobster.
Oh, yeah. Monster.
What is it?
Monster.
It was mobster. I thought they became mafiosos.
No.
No?
No.
Oh. Who else is eating there? Bernie Taupin, Vin Diesel, Jackie the Joke Man Martling. Who else? Randy Macho Man Savage. Rodney Not Macho Man Sorvage. We still connected?
I don't know what happened.
I dropped my phone.
You know what? I've got
grease on the phone,
and
I'm
I'll own it. I got a little sad because Randy Macho Man Savage passed away. I got a little, just hearing the name kind of.
Well, don't cry. It's okay. Don't have to cry.
It caught me. I'll admit it caught me a little bit.
Got a little lump going there.
Yeah.
Who else? Mickey Dolenz, Jonathan Franzen, Vince and Linda McMahon.
Okay.
That young boy who played Screech on television.
Okay.
Robert Blake, Dean Ween, Pat Denizio. You know who he is?
He's from the Smithereens.
Yes. Bruce Dern.
Okay.
Carlos Mencia. Yogi Berra, Mark Knopfler, G. Gordon Liddy has eaten there several times. Lonnie Anderson. Hell's Angel leader Sonny Barger.
Okay.
Porn star Whitey Bulger. Rich Little, and my dad's best friend until kind of recently, Orenthal James Simpson.
He was friends with your dad.
Very good friends, yes.
Until recently.
Very recently, yeah.
They had a falling out.
Big falling out, yeah.
Oh wow, that is a pretty esteemed list
Isn't
of
it?
diners, yeah.
And to say nothing of the awards that my father has garnered, the restaurant won so many awards that there's no room to put them anymore. You know, every week was a new accolade.
Sure.
Whether it was the James Beard Award, the Julia Childs Ribbon of Achievement, the Ruth Chris Steak Medallion of Excellence. Yeah.
Wow. It's like a just like a hall of honors.
Absolutely, yeah. But getting to me, being the son of such an acclaimed chef, it was great growing up. You know, I had a very charmed childhood. I got anything I wanted. It was a very magical time. But then, after I got out of high school, 2004, I was aimless for several years. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And then my dad ended up sending me to chef school.
Okay.
And I lasted there about 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah, it was a total snooze. You know, I just felt like I was a whole another level than all the norms that I was with at the school.
The what?
The norms? Normal people.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you call them the norms.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm like, I don't need to know this stuff. I've got Divonia blood in me. You know, it runs in the family. I can do this. So I get back home and my dad flips out.
Okay.
And it escalated to an actual fist fight.
Really?
Yeah, we're rolling around in the driveway, down the driveway. It's a long driveway, smashing Pellegrino bottles over each other's heads the entire way down.
Wow.
And we got down to the bottom, and my dad ended up stuffing me into the recycling bin. Which is not big, you know. Those aren't big bins.
No,
I was really, stuffed in there. I could barely breathe. Felt like my ribs were like in my throat. Yeah.
Wow.
I had rib throat.
You had rib throat.
I did, yeah. So he's hovering over me. I'm in the bin, and he's crying. I mean, it's like to see your dad cry because of something you did. Very hard.
It's hard. I can imagine.
And he's like, "You brought shame upon me and our entire family." And I'm laying there, bunched there, actually, in a heap. I realized he was right. I did bring great shame upon the family. So I did the only thing I could do, Tom.
What was that?
I threatened to fling myself off Mount Bridgemore wearing a dynamite vest if he didn't give me the money to start my own restaurant.
So you kind of blackmailed him, emotionally blackmailed him.
No, I wouldn't say that, but what I will say is 6 months later, voila, Divonia is 2. And I do want to say it's T-O-O. It's not the numeral 2.
Okay, so Divonia's 2.
Exactly, yeah.
Like also.
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
So unlike your dad,
Mm-hmm.
you just kind of stepped into owning a restaurant. You know, your dad had a lot of struggle. And
Well, I wouldn't say that. Here's how I look at it. I look at it like my dad. He worked all the kinks out, and then essentially he set the table for me. No fun intended with that.
Mm-hmm. Pun.
What's that?
No pun intended.
No, it's no fun intended, isn't it?
It's definitely no pun intended.
Oh, I thought it was no fun intended
Okay.
because that meant you're not joking.
Okay. Well, that strangely makes sense.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, but let's just kind of get to the meat of the thing. No, again,
Was that a fun?
no pun intended.
Okay. Spell it.
Pun?
Yes.
P-U-N.
Oh, okay. Wasn't there a rap singer named Pun?
Big Pun.
Big Pun.
Yeah.
Rap singer, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a rap singer.
Yep.
Yeah. So what led to you and your restaurant being on Kitchen Nightmares?
Well, business started off great, like really great. We had a ton of customers who were loyal to my dad's restaurant, and they wanted to check it out, and they liked the food.
Mm-hmm.
But then business started to drop off for reasons that were really beyond my control.
Okay. Like?
Well, there was a very unflattering piece on me in the Newbridge Sentinel Times Record and Cassette.
I got to just say, as a sidebar here,
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that it's 2013,
Right.
and they still haven't changed the name of that paper.
It's a name very much of a time, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. The
Yeah.
Record and Cassette.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they thought that, I don't know what they thought when they named it that in, I think 74.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weirdly ahead of the cassette thing.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Because 8-tracks at that point were king.
Right.
But look, I didn't name it.
Well, side note, the song "Street Fighting Man" by the Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm.
Acoustic guitar into a cassette player. That's what that is.
Wait, what's that?
Not an electric guitar on that song.
There's not an electric guitar on that song. It
No.
was all played on acoustic guitars?
Yep.
Plugged into a cassette deck?
Overdriven. Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, that's a little that is an interesting sidebar.
A little sidebar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this article, total slam piece.
Okay.
The guy who wrote it had it in for me for some reason. I don't know what it was.
Uh-huh. You have no reason, no
None.
idea why?
No.
Uh-huh.
All right.
What?
I'm trying to learn.
Wait, you just did a lot of mumbling there.
I tried to lure his fiancée into joining me in the walk-in freezer for a coke-fueled lovemaking session. Why?
Yeah, I think for you to say the guy hated you for some reason and you have no idea why, and then you have a very specific answer to why, that's a little,
Hey, I was drinking. All bets are off when the Italians drink.
Well, that's weird.
No, it's not. So anyway, he writes this slam piece on me, and I ended up challenging him to a shirtless steel cage match in the main dining room during dinner hours, which he, of course, declined. Yeah.
Why would it be shirtless?
Excuse me?
You said it was a shirtless steel cage match.
Yeah, well, at the time, I'd really been working on my abs nonstop for about 8 months.
Uh-huh.
So I was totally ripped.
Okay.
Really tight. My abs were super tight, Tom.
Okay.
Very tight abs.
Yeah. Any chance you could ease up on saying tight there?
It's a descriptor.
Uh-huh. Well, I know it's a descriptor, but you're really saying it. It just makes me a little uncomfortable. Oh, well,
that's your problem, not mine. I'll,
Uh-huh.
All right. What do you want?
Well, I don't know. I know it's a descriptor, but you're really saying it. It just makes me a little uncomfortable. Oh, well, that's your problem, not mine.
All right. What do you want?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway.
So that's why it was shirtless, because you
exactly. Yeah. So then word starts getting around that I've got a temper on me,
Mm-hmm.
and people were coming into the restaurant specifically to rile me.
Okay.
Yeah. Behind my back, they were calling me the Exploder.
Okay.
Yeah, there was even a fanzine called the Exploder, all about me.
A fanzine
printed, yeah.
about you.
You know what these things, fanzines?
Yeah, they were pretty popular.
Yeah.
A while ago.
Well, I didn't end up getting mad, and I'd smash tables, and then I'd have to buy customers dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I was paying for like 20 dinners a night.
Because you kept losing your cool.
Yeah, to say nothing of the hospital bills incurred for spraying hot oil in people's faces every night.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's kind of intense.
Yeah. And then I fired the entire staff the day before our big Thanksgiving, service that we had.
Uh-huh.
I thought I could do it all myself because I've been doing Texas-sized rails.
Texas, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then, but when that happened, it was a full house. It was just me, though. So I got so flustered I ended up calling in a bomb threat, so the place would get shut down.
To your own restaurant?
Yes. Yeah. I ended
Uh-huh.
up doing 3 nights in the hut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people start boycotting the restaurant because of something I tweeted.
Uh-huh. Well, what was it that you tweeted?
We don't need to get into that.
Well, no. What was it?
Well, all right. It's harmless. I said Obama wasn't even born here, and he didn't deserve to be vice president.
Wait, you said Obama wasn't born here.
Yes.
And he didn't deserve to be vice president?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's not vice president.
I know that now.
He's the president.
I know that now.
Yeah. Well, if you thought Obama was the vice president, who did you think the president was?
Bush.
Bush?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you thought Obama was Bush's vice president?
Look, I'm busy. I can't be keeping track of all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Uh-huh. Well, I gotta say, it's not much of a leap.
Angry.
To see. Yeah, I can see you're angry, and it's not much of a leap to see why Gordon Ramsay had to step in for your restaurant, because you're showing me a little bit of the temper that is all over your episode. And
listen.
Yeah.
What you saw in that episode, very creative editing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, so the stuff in the show that was just editing that was going on?
Like what?
Like when you revoked that one customer's dining privileges because he requested pepper?
You're damn right I did. That's insulting. It's like going to your surgeon and then asking to see his diploma before he cuts you open. And you're damn right I cut that same customer's tires that night. I slashed him to bits.
Well, that was not in the episode.
Oops. Guess I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. Well, what about the whole thing where you got into the fight with Gordon Ramsay when he's trying to, the whole thing about pacing the service when was it George Thorogood and the Destroyers came in to eat? Look,
I admit I was wrong there, okay? I wanted them to just experience this barrage of food, just bam, 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 and Gordon wanted it to be simpler and slower paced.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah. you had very harsh words for Gordon.
I felt like I was backed in a corner. I felt like he was disrespecting me, and I'm not proud of it, and I said, look, you Irish F. They had to bleep this out, and I know you're going to have to bleep this out too, okay? I said, look, you Irish F. This may be how you guys do it in England, but and when I'm done with you, like the shower scene from Psycho on steroids.
Yeah, I had to bleep.
How much of it?
Almost all of what you said.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
We got into it at least 8 times too during the shooting of that one episode.
Mm-hmm.
At one point,
yeah,
he was holding my face an inch from the stovetop,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "Do it, you foreign-born bastard!" But his crew broke it up.
His crew, okay.
Yeah, and then this other time, I had his shirt over his head. Mm-hmm. Like his chef shirt.
Yeah.
I was about to start whipping his bare back with my chef's belt, and he's going, "Do it, you Guido piece of Newbridge trash!" And then my crew broke it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really very, so heated and kind of like offensive. Like you were really trying to get a rise out of each other.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You know what I thought was odd about that whole episode?
What?
That you had George Thorogood and the Destroyers. It's like they're not a very hip band, and Kitchen Nightmares is a very current kind of show. It seems like the kind of thing, if they were trying to do placement of a band or whatever, that there's like 100 other bands who would have been like a more appropriate fit.
Right.
That.
Well, there's a whole backstory there, as to why they were on the show.
Whole backstory?
Yeah.
Are you like pals with them or something?
Ooh, hardly. No, actually, the drummer Jeff Simon,
mm-hmm.
He's a capo in the Delaware Mafia.
The drummer from the
George Thorogood and the Destroyers.
So George Thorogood's drummer is a capo in I'm going to say allegedly.
Well, yeah. Well,
okay,
yeah.
But he's a capo in the Delaware Mafia.
Exactly. Yeah, I owe him quite a bit of money.
Mm-hmm. How much money?
We don't need to get into this.
Well, no. This is very interesting. How much money do you owe him?
2.1 million.
You owe the drummer from George Thorogood's band $2.1 million.
Wait, hang on. Just check on the final score of this Mets game. Oof. No, actually now it's 4.2 million.
So it went up from 2.1 to 4.2.
Yeah, why?
So you bet double or nothing on a game in an August baseball game.
Right, yeah.
Middle of the season.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like is it a joke?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I get.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. That's fun. It's funny,
Right.
Because you are a funny guy.
Well, thank you.
On the episode, you were funny. But sometimes your sense of humor didn't always.
Sure. It's not for everybody.
It didn't. Well, like the insults that you were saying.
Right.
You would like laugh after you'd say them.
Of course, yeah.
So
yeah.
I forgot. I lost touch with your kind of.
Right. Yeah.
What makes you, or I guess the best way to say is, what do you think is funny?
Well, I know what's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I gotta say though,
right.
The end of the episode
was
legitimately moving.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of at your lowest. The
way down there. Yeah.
Yeah, the restaurant's about to get shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And even Gordon was like ready to throw in the towel.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And then you completely humble yourself.
Yeah.
You get down on your knees and you beg him to help.
I did. I was practically praying to him.
Mm-hmm.
Please help me. Please. I didn't want to. I was tired of disappointing my family, my dad especially. I just like, please, Gordon Ramsay, help me. And he did. To his credit, I mean, he was out the door, and he was just like, all right, I can't bear to see this. I can't ruin a family.
And he helped you.
He did, huge.
Yeah.
And the restaurant ended up becoming a huge hit, like huge.
Yeah, it was inspiring.
Yeah,
to see,
That's why I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm. So you said you had an announcement.
Yes.
You had some big news. What is the big news?
Well, I want to thank everybody in Newbridge. I know I insulted Newbridge earlier, but I don't think it's completely rubified. I think my restaurant has definitely helped Newbridge gain a stronger palate, and I appreciate the people for coming out and making Divonia's to such a huge hit. And our profits are up to where they should be. The reviews have been fabulous across the board. Everything's great. And I know you're all going to love our new menus just as much as the previous one.
Your new menus?
Yes.
Menus?
Yeah.
Like plural.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. Like what? Multiple menus.
Oh, yes. Are you ready?
What?
You strapped in? I've been waiting to say this forever. You got your feed bag strapped on?
Do I have my feed bag? Sure.
Yeah, I love that saying.
Uh-huh.
I just love it.
Sure, I do.
Can't get enough of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You are talking to the head chef of the world's only Italian, Tibetan, Mongolian stir-fry, Asian fusion, French restaurant with an artisanal Sunday bar.
But why are you doing this? Like,
what do you mean?
You had it figured out.
Yeah.
Like, everything was going great.
Yeah.
You said business was making
super great.
More money than ever.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Why would you change it now?
Well, look, I was tired of being known as the guy whose daddy bought him a restaurant. Mm-hmm. I was tired of being the guy who Gordon Ramsay had to rescue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've got my own ideas that I want to express,
mm-hmm.
and I'm my own man now. I'm very excited about what I'm doing. I've got it all together. Wait till you see how good I look.
How good you look.
Yeah. I got my teeth blasted.
Okay.
I just got back from my stylist.
Mm-hmm.
He cleaned me up great. He made sure my young chef was super tight.
To make sure you're what?
My young chef.
What is that?
You know what a young chef is?
I have no idea what that is.
Well, it's a style of facial hair. A
young chef?
Yeah, all the young chefs have it.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's this razor-thin strip. It's like if John Waters' mustache was drawn around your jawline.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. And that's called the young chef.
It's called the young chef, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's very tight. I had to make it as tight as possible.
Uh-huh.
I got the tightest young chef
Can you please,
out there.
Again, you're saying tight a whole lot.
Well, just describing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was also just so tired of people asking me about Gordon. Where's Gordon? It got to where I had just a pat response for it.
Uh-huh. What's that?
I can't say exactly what it is on the air, but it translates to Gordon is in my pants, and you're more than welcome to go in and visit him, and maybe even have a bite to eat while you're there. So...
And that's what you'd say to anybody. That's your paraphrasing.
Yep, the last person I said that to was 6.
A 6-year-old?
Yep.
You told him to go have a bite to eat. Her. Oh, okay. That's charming.
Yep.
Uh-huh. I don't understand why you're doing any of this.
Well, because I want the same thing every person on Earth wants.
What's that?
To have his or her name recognized as one of the greatest brands in history, a la Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Walmart, Martha Stewart, Oprah Winfrey.
That's what everybody on Earth wants?
Yes, and they also want to have their names on an entire line of gourmet frozen foods. And a theme park.
And a theme park?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Divonia.
That's what your theme park is going to be called?
Yeah, and a cop show.
A cop show?
Yeah.
Why a cop show?
Well, I'm writing it right now.
Uh-huh.
It's a spin-off on the restaurant.
A cop show that's a spin-off on the restaurant?
Yeah, it's about an obsessive-compulsive chef who solves murders.
Okay.
Yeah, the show's called Monkfish.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And basically, people are going to watch Monkfish on a special TV called the Divonia box.
What is a Divonia box?
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, as they watch, the actual food that's being prepared by Monkfish, it's going to appear in your living room at the same time.
So this Divonia box...
Yeah.
The actual food, like you're watching the show.
Actual food.
You're watching the show.
Yes.
And there's like a paella being made.
Right.
Right?
Well, it's believable. I remember back, I used to listen to your radio show, and there was some sort of discussion about a printer that could print a T-shirt.
Yes.
And that seems to be happening now.
It's closer than ever, yeah.
Right?
But this is a huge leap from that.
Oh, well, yeah.
This is actual food.
That you can eat.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So I'll watch it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll watch him making a paella.
Yes.
And then all of a
sudden...
sudden...
You love that paella.
Well,
it seems.
I do. It's fine. I like paella.
Okay.
And then what? All of a sudden, like a bell goes off, and then in the box is a paella?
Yeah. Paella, any sort of Tibetan fare, something from the Sunday bar.
It just shows up in the Divonia box.
Yep. Wet walnuts for the Sunday bar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And how close is
We're
this?
gonna have the wettest walnuts you've ever had at our Sunday bar.
What's that?
We're gonna have the wettest walnuts.
Uh-huh. At the Sunday bar.
Oh yeah, the wettest walnuts, super wet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because that's what those are the best kind of walnuts for Sunday toppings.
Wet ones.
Wet walnuts.
Yeah.
I might change the name of the restaurant to Wet Walnuts.
That, I'm actually tempted to ask you to go back to saying tight.
Instead of Wet Walnuts?
Instead of Wet Walnuts.
Oh, well, you really had a strong reaction against tight, so you must really not enjoy Wet Walnuts.
I don't.
Okay.
So how far away is this Divonia box from being reality?
Not close at all, actually.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I actually saw it in a comic book by this guy named Matt Fractoid.
Matt Fraction?
What is it?
Fraction.
Oh, I've been calling him Fractoid the whole time. We've been having these brainstorming sessions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you're working with him on a Divonia box.
Exactly, yeah.
Like
so far, it's just drawings.
What's that?
So far, it's just drawings.
Okay.
Sketches. Yeah.
So there's no actual technology in place yet?
Not yet, no.
This. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, when you think about it, you had said you don't want to be the guy who is known for the fact that his daddy bought him a restaurant.
Mm.
But after when you kind of clear all of this, I'm going to call it nonsense, out of the way.
Hey.
It's more or less exactly what happened, isn't it?
No. Look, I would be glad. I'll be glad to just tell you what this is all about, right? Okay?
To tell me what's all about.
Just my whole thing, what I'm doing. You don't seem to buy what I'm doing.
So you're saying that your dad, there's more to it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just your daddy bought you a business.
Not at all, no.
Uh-huh.
No.
Well, I'd love to hear your explanation.
Oh, okay, then. Well, look, by naming my place Divonia's 2, I wasn't riding his coattails at all.
Okay.
I was trying to give my dad's restaurant more juice by making his thing sound bigger than it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to make it look like it was a second restaurant that he was running, but that he actually wasn't. I was running it, and that would show that he was more powerful than he really is. So I was doing him a favor
by letting him buy you a restaurant.
Yeah. Well,
because it made him look like he owned a second restaurant.
Yeah. Well,
when what he did was buy a second restaurant.
Well, listen to me. Did he come up with the initial money? Yes. Did he find me the staff? Absolutely. Did he get me out of jail when I got popped for stealing a jet ski and shooting it up onto the roof of Bishop Fontana's rectory? 100% yes. Does that make me a criminal? I don't think it does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it does. Oh, no.
What?
Oh, no.
What is that?
Uh-oh.
What?
That was the drummer for Jorsurga and the Destroyers.
Uh-huh.
Jeff Simon.
Yeah. Because you owe him, what, $4.2 million now?
Yeah, that wasn't a joke. I know I kind of played it off like it was.
Yeah, because you were saying it. I'm starting to believe that you were I took that as an impossible thing.
Yeah.
Like, that seemed too ridiculous.
I know.
Yeah, but it was completely true.
Oh, no, it's him again.
What is that?
I've come to just fear that riff. That's a fearful
Where's
riff.
it coming from?
My phone.
From your phone? So it's him calling you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he has his own...
Well, he just texted. He said, if I don't pay up tonight, I'm going to get Simonized.
Okay. Simonized.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing. I'd rather get Simonized the way they actually do it at a car detailing place than his brand of Simonizing.
Okay. What's his brand of Simonizing?
Well, I can't say a lot of it, but the first thing he does,
yeah,
he makes you comb his mustache for an hour.
Okay.
And then he takes his blues hat and he stuffs it. I can't. Oh, he's here. That's my doorbell.
It's your doorbell.
Oh no!
What?
Oh no! Save my Sunday bar! Wet walnuts.
Okay, you managed to get wet walnuts in at the end, at least. Wow. How you doing, Jake?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing all right?
Yeah.
Something else. Oh, there he goes. Then he's gone.
Wild.
You having fun tonight?
It's a blast.
You're
it's
right.
good to see you.
It is good to see you. I'm glad you're here. You live in L.A. now.
I know.
The Fogelnest Files.
That whole LA podcast.